All right, so this is gonna be an off topic, and it 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 weighs a lot on me, and if it weighs a lot on me, it must weigh a lot on you. And what I mean by that is, it feels like AI is taking over everything, right? And in that process, it also feels like as artists, we're losing a piece of ourselves. Like we almost are feeling like we're becoming a commodity, and when you've gone your whole life and we've gone our whole life banking on skill sets, on dialing in a camera or painting on a canvas, right? It feels like you have this machine that's come out of nowhere and is saying, I can do it better than you. And unfortunately, you've got a lot of these businesses also betting on that same thought process is it can be faster, it can be cheaper, it can be more efficient. And I want to be clear here. I'm not against AI. I just want to be careful of how deep we go in trusting it over a human's spirit, a human's emotions. And I think if we build AI first platforms and we lose the humanity in it, then what's the point of creating anything anyway, right? And so I want to talk to you just a little bit about why I feel like I want to build something that's completely against the grain, and why I'd hope you would want to as well. Because the more of us go against the grain of an AI first approach, the more that I believe that we might be able to change the trajectory of where we might be going. And so the process here is, while efficiency and speed matter, if we keep humanity and human centered, if we build human first focused companies, then I think we'll build a better place for everybody on earth. And I know you're like, wow, Ian, you're here thinking you're going to save the world. That's not the case. I just see two futures, one where we put one where we bank our time, attention, and energy on focusing on building things faster, cheaper, and more efficient, and one where we build it so that humans can enjoy life more. And as an artist, as people who create, and I believe you're in the same boat, it kind of rips your heart out knowing that the things that you create feel like they don't hold as much value anymore, right? It's like, oh, well, I can just generate that in 2 seconds. Or the amount of time you spend on a visual effects shot, well, I can generate that in 10 minutes. And it's just like, well, where's the humanity in that? It feels like you're losing out on a lot where there's no guarantee. And I think the real danger in this is we're feeling a lot of pressure coming from large companies who want to adapt this and adapt it quick for the only sake other than just to make a quick profit. And so I want to be very careful here. I'm not against AI. I think that AI can be a fantastic tool when a human is operating it intentionally. I think that's the important part here, is like, if you don't have a human first approach, then AI will ultimately take over. And that will be what we set out to do. We set out to create an AI first world, and we might build it whether we like it or not. And so what I'm saying is, what if we flipped it? What if we built human first approaches? And this used to be a thing, right? I think that unknowingly people were building beautiful things so that other people can enjoy them. And if you look at all of human history, we spend time working on things, maintaining things so that people can live better lives. I mean, I don't know why we haven't talked about this, but what does it really even mean to be a human in this type of world, right? Where it feels like everything can be generated like that. And so why would somebody even paint a painting when something can just as well be built like this in 2 seconds? Well, I believe it's because a human took their time, energy, and attention to build it. And this battle between humans and machines had been going on for forever, right? And some worse than others. But I think if we slow down and we look at what happens when we hand over something that had the human touch and then was taken over by a machine. And food is something that I love to cook and love to make. And I think that's a good analogy for where we're going, right? It's, if you go to somebody's house and they make you a home cooked meal and they spent time kneading the dough and cooking the protein and, adding a seasoning that their mom, sister's best friend's uncle taught them. I don't know, just made all that up, right? It seems to taste better. Why? Because a human made it. But if you go, and don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with fast food or McDonald's, but we all know that shit was made by machines. Right? And so, although like everybody needs, like it's like 11 o'clock right now, everybody needs a McDonald's at the end of the night for a quick fix when they need something there. My concern is, imagine a world where the only option you have is the fast food option. It doesn't have to be this way though. Like we can have so many options and a bunch of different takes on food, right? And so similarly, I hope that we can learn our lesson there, and just using food as an example to just say, hey, like if we only focus on building things more efficiently, if we only focus on flipping a patty faster and getting it out the door quicker, well, then the only thing we're going to be left over with is a half-baked world, unfortunately. And so the thing that's keeping me up at night is, and I do this myself, is like I'm obsessed with speed and automation and doing things faster, and I'm falling into this trap myself. And it wasn't until the other day where I sat back and I was just like, man, if I'm feeling like I'm sprinting and I'm also going nowhere, I can imagine that every other creative out there is also feeling the same way. And man, it doesn't feel good. I think what it boils down to is like we're living in a world where AI is creating so much more, but we all feel like so much less. Like there's so much content that's being generated in the world. There's an application for AI videos only, and we can't get enough. We need that next scroll. And again, I have fallen into this trap. And so the solution, I think, is how do we build a human-centered approach in companies, in individuals, and families, right? How do we build that? And I don't have the answer necessarily. I have a couple thoughts on it, but I don't think this is solved by one video, by one conversation. This is solved by many conversations. And I don't know. I'm not betting against AI, but I don't want to bet on it. I want to bet on humans. I want to bet on us, the ones that see there's a better way around working with AI. We've all been there where we've lost a package, whether that be UPS or FedEx. They're both tough with this. You go and retrieve it, and you're met with 30 AIs, 30 bots, 30 machines. You're sitting there thinking, I have this simple problem, but because I have to talk to a machine about it, it doesn't understand, right? And so as good as AI will get at understanding or mimicking human interactions, it will never feel the way that we feel. It will never understand the way that we understand. And I think the companies that are banking on a human first approach are the ones that everybody always loves working with, where they're realizing, hey, humanity is more important than just a quick buck or saving some money here and there. I don't want to lose our soul in the process of making life just more efficient. And I think a majority of people would agree with that. And this isn't about me. This is about what it means to be a human. And if I'm questioning this myself, I can imagine there's others out there that do too. And before, well, it already feels like everything's out of hand. I want to talk about it because who knows where this is going? Who knows where this is going to lead us? And we live in a really wild, it is absolutely insane to live in this moment in time. And so, a lot of people can say, look at the news, there's doom and gloom. Oh man, AI is taking all these jobs, all this bad stuff's happening. And I hear you. I know the bad stuff's happening. But if we don't focus on building a potentially better future, and the only thing we're focused on is the negative aspect of what's going on in the world, we're never going to find ourselves a better path. We won't find ourselves, we won't find our way out of what we've dug ourselves into. And whether we all liked it or not, this is the world we live in here and today. And so I'm not going to come on here and just complain about the way the world is. I want to offer a solution, and not from my own mind, but from a collection of having some hard conversations with others. And so if you're here for that, I'd be curious what your thoughts are, where we're going, how we're going to get there. And yeah, this is just one part of the process. And I really think that there's a world in which we find our way out of this and we create a better future instead of one that feels automated. So, yeah, those are just the thoughts, and I don't know. I'll keep thinking on it.